So we have Ling Rinpoche coming to this area in July. No, June. No, May. In a couple of weeks. What I'm talking about. In a couple of weeks' time. And I didn't realize, last time I saw Ling Rinpoche, Rinpoche was, I think his first visit to Land of Medicine Buddha down here in near Santa Cruz, Kel. And he's very humble, very, very sweet young monk. And now it turns out he's almost like His Holiness's emissary because His Holiness can't go around so much anymore. So it's his kind of status has jumped a little bit. So I wasn't quite aware of it. So it does seem he's got quite a role that he's stepping into as His Holiness is getting older. And I can only, think what responsibility that comes with. Yeah. Anyway. So it's sort of in a way extraordinary that this, you get born, you're told you announce that you're the reincarnation, or you get told that you've been found, and then all of a sudden you have all this huge amount of responsibility. And he seems to be handling it quite well. And not only that, he had this very serious car accident in India a few years ago. And it was very curious because Kardrila, all of you know Kardrila, right? There's probably a story about this actually in the FPMT, but everybody was heading to one of the monasteries. I think it may have been Drepung. So the road between Sarah and Drepung it's quite a distance, but it's also quite it's parts of it are not super safe, but the highways in India are a little bit crazy. Anyway, they had an altercation with a truck, and Kardrila was, as they were about to get ready to go, she was like, "We must leave now. We got to leave now. Absolutely need to leave now." And her attendants couldn't understand her urgency. We have to leave now. And there they came. I think they were the first people to arrive at Ling Rinpoche's accident. Was Kardrila. And yeah, so then they realized that's why she was in such a hurry to get going, was this accident already happened. The suggestion was that Kardrila knew somehow. All right, anyway, there we go. All right, so let's just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. Gosh, where is everyone? They're still in the Gompa talking. I have to ask, I have to ask Venerable Dundrup to maybe have us in the Gompa. Okay, I will write to him. Okay, so let's just settle. Shoulders are aligned with the hips. Imagining your spine is this beautiful string of pearls of light, lengthening, stretching. And bring your awareness to the crown of the head and just relax your scalp and the forehead, your whole face. Just notice it release. Relax the back of the head, the neck, the shoulders, and allow your shoulder blades to drop down and relax your throat and chest and belly and all of your limbs. But just be aware as you settle into your meditation how fast it was for you just to kind of ground yourself. Doesn't take very long if we do it, if we do it appropriately. And then just as we settle in, notice your breath. And then notice the sounds in your environment. And then just come to the mind and just be curious about what is present there this evening and whether it serves you or not. Or maybe if there's, bits and pieces, habit energies in your mind that are not really serving you, consider letting them go. consider not following the story. It's an option that we have. And I think quite often we don't realize we have that option, that we even have the power. And then bring to mind all the people of our life. Some folks we have very extraordinary, deep, profound relationships with. Others not so much. And then there's those that we don't really, get along with. And these people can all change place at any time, these relationships. And despite how we feel about them, they're all equal in their wish to be happy and their wish to be free from suffering and in having this extraordinary capacity for Buddhahood. So think there is no negativity that can't be purified. Not only for us, but for everyone. So all those everyone will do this meditation, will motivate to do this for ourselves as we're moving along our spiritual path, but also for all of those people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. And that includes, for me here, the deer that casually walking around the road with their children, the thousands upon thousands of tiny, tiny insects flying around up in the trees, and the little spiders that are constantly making little webs from one place to the next as I'm walking through them in the morning. And my new best friends, the hummingbirds. So again, there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. So we create negativity with our mind, we have these habit energies, and we also can create positivity instead. So right now in our Lam Rim class that I do before this one with Ocean of Compassion, we're at the Hell Realm section in the Lam Rim. So, it really, I don't know. I mean, a lot of these descriptions are a little graphic and they're also a little dramatic. I think that they're there really for us because, there's no other point of reference. We really don't know what, a pure realm is like. We really don't know what a hell realm is like. But all the lamas can do is just kind of describe it in a way that we might understand, using words and imagery that we can kind of relate to. It all sounds a bit extreme. But it does make sense to me that we would want to purify and then continue to try and not create negative karma so that we don't end up in a situation that's complicated or difficult or impossible, heartbreaking. So we start with the power of regret. So this is where we start. We've done something that's harmed another or ourselves, and we just regret it. We just think we want to pull out these karmic seeds before they ripen as suffering in the future for us. And it doesn't always have to ripen after we've died. Sometimes we can find ourselves in these really difficult, hellish situations. The Tibetans would say, if someone steals their purse, their attitude is, oh, thank goodness, my stealing karma is finished. And their karma is just starting. So in a way, when something happens to the Tibetans, they're all like, in a way, they're just rejoicing because that they've cleared another row of negative karma on this game we call life. So it makes sense to remove these karmic seeds before they ripen as kind of future suffering for us. So we think, I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech and broken my vows because I don't want any future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And we also regret our delusions because we can do something about them. And then think we come to the power of reliance because we don't know where to go. So here we have somewhere to go. We go to this Vajrasattva who's a Buddha, a doctor who has these methods that we can use to purify ourselves. So we think, you just imagine this Buddha, Vajrasattva, above the crown of our head. Now he's not, he's not like a god. It's just we see him as a doctor who has these beautiful methods that we can use to purify ourselves. And he's, imagine this beautiful, radiant, blissful, white light body above the crown of your head, sitting cross-legged, with his arms crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right, holding a Dorje bell, Vajra bell, representing enlightenment, compassion, wisdom. I go for refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened by this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva. May I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed, and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think of someone you've harmed recently, in the past, or someone who's harmed you, particularly these people, because the harm they've caused you will manifest as suffering for them in the future. So just think, I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the power of the remedy. This is the medicine, doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart. It arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely, and then it keeps pouring and forcing out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Aham Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Dita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ah Hum Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body. All the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you can just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about others behind their backs. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you, as we recite the mantra again. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe and Vajrasattva Samayam Nupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Sutukaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe and Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe and Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe and Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe and Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe and Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. And next is the purification of our mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So as we say every evening, just imagine you walking into a pitch black room and you're just flicking on the switch, and the light instantaneously dispels the darkness in the room. So just the same here, the moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your attachment, neediness, bitterness, and anger, grudges, jealousy, anxieties, all of this instantly dispelled. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe and Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarekta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarekta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe. So be so delighted that all of your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering, the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And think there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and wisdom. So all the ruminations, all the stories out the window. So now we have the purification of just even the imprints, these very subtle level now of the body, speech, and mind. So imagine light and nectar coming and eradicating all of these imprints. Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Triyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Hum Pe Vajrasafa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasafa Dina Patita Dita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ah Pompe. Now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to the power of resolve, the fourth and final step in the purification process. And here we make a decision to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. And this aspiration becomes like guardrails for us. And we have all these very powerful habit energies. So we're just working towards chipping away, turning around the mind, which we do have the power to do. Energies, habit energies from this life and from past lives, things we picked up from our caregivers, our families. And don't forget to rejoice in your efforts. So imagine Vajrasattva's delighted with us, wants to merge with your mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next, Rinpoche would recommend to meditate on emptiness. In emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. And we can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. It's always good to try and remember that. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And then let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy. Oh yeah, let's just do we're up to verse 10.
Verse 10.
Manjushri, chanting the names. We'll do 3 verses. Reveal to us the great name of chanting of the wisdom body of the Blessed One, the great Ushnisha, master of all speech, the self-arising wisdom emanation. Next page. Oh. No. Other way. The wisdom deity called Manjushri, the names with meaning both profound and vast, of great significance, unmatched, serene, with goodness at their start, middle, and end, proclaimed by Buddhas of the eons past, and to be taught by Buddhas yet to come, and taught not once, but time and time again, by all the Buddhas of the present age. And let's just dedicate for the long life of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and for all of our precious teachers. Okay, everyone, lots of love, and I look forward to seeing you. Ben Robina's doing the meditation tomorrow morning, but I probably will be there as well. Okay, lots of love, everyone. Thanks for hosting, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.